Hi, I'm Ben Garrettson, and I own a mortgage company, and I'm licensed in about 8 states. And I want to talk to you a little bit about relationships, what it takes to run a mortgage company, and how it helps you. And it's not just what it takes to run a mortgage company, but the relationships and why being a mortgage broker for on my end as a mortgage broker and for you to go to me as a mortgage broker and my company is beneficial to you. So as a mortgage broker, I have to have special licensing that employees at a credit union or at a bank like Wells Fargo or Chase or US Bank, Zions Bank, and so on and so forth, they have licensing, but they don't have the same licensing that I have. I have additional designations and requirements that the Division of Real Estate has that the Department of Finance does not require for bank and employee credit unions. Now tie that into relationships on top of the licensing. The relationships, I have to have contracts with each bank that I send a loan into. And the banks that do mortgage lending are specialist banks that only specialize in mortgage lending, and they're all throughout the country, from Southern California and Orange County to Boston to Indianapolis to out in up in Detroit, down to Florida and Tampa and different areas all over the country. There's mortgage banks that specialize in only working with mortgage brokers and the mortgage company community of the financial industry. You as a homeowner don't know who these banks are as the predominant names of them. But as a mortgage broker, I not only know who they are, but I have to have contracts with them. They put me through the ringer just so I can send a client in for them to underwrite the loan and for them to fund the loan. So I have to go through a background check individually for every single bank. They pull my personal credit. They have me fill out typically about 8 different contracts. I have to send in my resume, my bio, a whole list of checklists, my financials, my profit and loss statement, my balance sheet. I have to prove to them so much stuff just for me to be approved. And so for me to send something in, I've got to have my life in order for me to take care of you as a client. Now on top of that, let's talk about some of these banks. I'm going to mention one that everyone knows of. If you've ever watched the Super Bowl, which I'm sure you have, you've probably heard the name of a big mortgage lender called Quicken, also known as Rocket Mortgage. Same company. One's their name that the last couple of years they've been advertising under Rocket, and for many years they've been going under Quicken. I'm not sure if you've ever gone to their website or used them for a loan, but a good amount of people have used them for a loan in the past. I bet you didn't know that they have 2 divisions. One division is the wholesale, one division is their retail. If you've worked with them, you've probably worked with their retail. I work with their wholesale division. Their wholesale division gives better rates, kind of like going to Costco versus going to somewhere else as an analogy, but they give me wholesale pricing. Their fees are less. If you go to them, you call them up over the phone, or you go to their website and you fill out an application, whether on your phone or on your computer or whichever device, and you fill out their application yourself by going to their website, you're going to pay a higher interest rate. You're going to speak to one of their agents that's an employee of their company, and they're going to require that you give a deposit of so much money for an application fee, and they're going to charge you fees that are exorbitant. I've got a veteran right now, I'm doing a VA loan, that they went there, they did this very thing, and they were being charged an exorbitant amount on a $500,000 purchase price of a home in Utah, and they were being charged on the retail side of over, it was like $12,000 in fees. not in down payment, but just in fees for closing costs. They call me and said, hey Ben, we've got this situation. They tell me about it, and we're like, we decided that let's meet up and let's talk, let's look at the numbers, let's see if we can do something. And we looked at the figures, I looked at their situation, and I've saved them over $12,000, not in total closing costs, but just in the junk fees that the retail division was giving them. So if you're going to, it doesn't matter if you're going to Quicken Loans retail division, or you're going to Chase Bank or Wells Fargo or Zions Bank out of Utah, or PNC Bank on the East Coast for people that live on the East Coast, or banks in Florida, or wherever you may be, or if you're up in Alaska, if you're going to Key Bank, or you name it, whichever place you're going to, I promise you're paying higher in fees. And as a broker, I've got relationships with banks all over the country that we can find better pricing, and not just the pricing. Let's say we've got an underwriting situation that you may need something that someone else may not have. And if I need to call one of the banks, I've got relationships with each place where we have account executives. And if the account executive doesn't know what it is, either he or she can reach out to their management, or I can call one of the executives or someone in the management at any of these places. At Quicken, there's an underwriting hotline that I can call before I even submit a file. At banks in California or in Boston or in Florida, I can reach out and we can go over situations. We can ask questions and find out, is this scenario going to fit? Is this going to work out? And so it's like putting a puzzle together. We try to figure out what's the right situation, what's the right place to take a loan. Is it going to work, or is it not going to work at one lender versus another lender? So one person we may be able to get better pricing at one place versus another, but in some situations, we may get the loan done where another place won't do it. And you're wondering, can I even get a loan, or can I get help? And so this is the great thing with relationships of many different places. So you may be searching online thinking, well, how do I do this? Or how do I get a loan? Or I'll just go here, I'll just go to Rocket. And that's a great start. But let me throw this out. You could save a boatload of money just by picking up the phone, filling out an application with a broker that works on the wholesale channel rather than going to the retail channel. Little known secret is it's going to save you thousands of dollars, not just in closing costs, but even more over time by getting better terms. That if you've got a big loan, $500,000 in today's market, that's almost common for so many people that we're doing loans for. The average loan price I'm seeing is around $400,000 to $500,000 out there, and over 15, 20 years, that's tens of thousands of dollars that we can save someone by getting just a little better terms by working with us on the broker side, on the wholesale channel of the banking industry. Feel free to reach out, whether you call me or do the online application. I look forward to helping you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you later.